Connie, welcome aboard.
Hi, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here and talking to you.
Connie, talk to us. I mean, how do you land here? How do you get here? Give us a little bit of your background story and how do you end up in the social media world creating engaging content, some of the most engaging content I've seen here in this industry. Talk to us.
Love it. Cool. So I got started in social media marketing about 10 years ago. Since then, I went to college, I was in real estate, but all roads left me back to being a full-time social media manager and content creator. My boyfriend Daniel owns the Epoxy Pros, and I have grown them from, I think he started at about 1,000 followers on Instagram to now over 62,000, all organically, no paid ads, no paid marketing, no paid followers, and 64,000 on TikTok. So we've had a lot of organic growth, and we've learned a lot along the way, but yeah, that's kind of how I got here.
So the question is, did he actually ask you to come on board and do the social media, or how did that happen?
So it was actually really funny. So when he started the company, he was doing the social media posting. What he was doing was paying a professional photographer to basically come in every finished job and just take content of the finished floors. Photos were beautiful, but it wasn't really telling a story. So I kept begging him, like, let me help you with social media. Let me take over your social media. Let me help you. Yeah. And it took a while until he got so busy that he couldn't handle the social media posting anymore. So finally he let me, and I started posting Reels. That's when Reels just started, and I think it was 2020. Once that happened, the followers just came pouring in, the clients came flooding in. So thankfully, I was persistent, begging him, like, let me help you, because he was not interested in the help at first. So that's how I got involved. One of the main things that I always focus on is, first of all, the story behind the content. I kind of try to think about, okay, is this going to be a before and after video? Is this going to be a crazy story that happened about a job? When it comes to creating the content, I like to tell people who ask me this question, the same question, how do I create content while I'm working? And I always tell them, instead of thinking about creating content, you should just focus on documenting what you're already doing.
That's good.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, because it hits different. You know, it changes the narrative from I need to be a content creator to I need to document what I'm already doing. So the best way to do this, I feel, is to invest in a tripod. You can find one for $23 or less on Amazon. And you can literally take content by yourself, set your tripod up, set your phone up, put it on a time lapse, or just, you know, go back and forth between starting the video, pausing the video. But that's how you create kind of like a arsenal of content to be able to use for future editing within video apps. Like when I first started taking over the Epoxy Pro social media, I wasn't even using any video apps. I was just recording directly on Instagram and TikTok. So a lot of people think you need to have all this equipment, these fancy cameras, these fancy microphones, but we didn't have any of that in the beginning. I was using my iPhone 12 the entire time. It wasn't the newest phone at the time, but it worked. And that's the whole thing, is like, don't focus so much on creating, just focus on documenting what you're already doing. Because the things that you do on a daily basis are things that to you might be minute and might be uninteresting and nothing's, you know, that can be turned into a story. But to other people, those are stories, those are tips, that is something educational or entertaining to watch. I would just focus on documenting with a tripod and whatever phone you have.
Explain to us the difference between creating and documenting, because for some contractors, they might think like it's the same thing. What's the difference from the approach, the mindset, the angles, the type of footage you're trying to get?
So when it comes to creating content, that's why I prefer using the term documenting, because you're just recording what you're doing. You're not editing a video. You're not doing any of that. Even if that's something that you're not really comfortable with yet, it's good to just have the content in like a Google Drive, or I'm very organized with our content. So I take a bunch of content, I save everything in a Google Drive, and I repurpose content all the time. But you can easily create content, you know, with video editing apps. So one of the lower cost ones that I was using in the beginning is InShot. And it's very easy to just take all that content you just took on your phone, select the videos, put them in InShot, and save it all as one video and just go ahead and post it. If you want to get a little bit more creative, experiment a little more, we invested in CapCut. it's similar to InShot, but what I like about CapCut is that there's templates. So it makes it so easy to create content that it doesn't take so long to think like, what do I do? Where do I start? Things like that. Like it's pretty simple to just kind of plug in the content, the videos, the photos, and CapCut will do the rest for you if you don't have the money to invest in a video editor.
Yeah, I love that. So before we got started here with this podcast, we were talking about the title of the podcast here. We were thinking about hooks and, hey, how to create viral content for your concrete coating business. You said, well, I have a different approach, different mindset for that. Can you elaborate on that and then all the insights that you shared with us earlier?
Yeah. So a lot of people think the best way to build a brand on Instagram and social media is by going viral all the time. But when you're just starting out and you're just starting to get comfortable and you're learning how to use these editing tools, I believe your focus should be on talking to your ideal client. So if we're talking about the concrete coating industry, you shouldn't post content that you think is going to be viral. You should post content for your ideal follower. Who is that going to be? Probably a client in your city. So you want to post the things that you offer, a before and after, a transformation video. Those videos aren't always going to be the most viral, but they are going to show your ideal target audience what it is you offer, what you can do, what services you provide. That way they are intrigued and willing to buy from you, willing to, work with you. Right. When you go viral, it sounds great in hindsight, but in reality, when you're going viral, you are reaching an audience that's not your audience. Right. We've gone viral before. A video has like about 13 million views on TikTok, and a lot of them are haters. A lot of them are people talking bad things on the video. They don't like the floor. They don't like this. They don't like that. Right. It's just not as all it's cracked up to be. If you're going viral and you have a reason or you set up a foundation to monetize off that virality, that's a different story. If you're selling, like, let's say a course, digital products, an ebook, then I guess it makes sense to go viral because you might find new people interested, right? But in the beginning, when you're just starting and you're getting your feet wet with creating content, going viral is not your goal. You're going to be heartbroken when you realize how hard it actually is to go viral. Right. It's really not that easy.
What's the biggest difference between me going live and taking the iPhone and leaving the iPhone running, going live on Facebook, Instagram, etc., versus documenting the different stages, someone grinding the floor, patching the cracks, and doing all of that?
We do this a lot. We go live on TikTok. The reason why we go live on TikTok more than Instagram is because TikTok is really trying to push you to new people that you might be interested in. A lot of the content you see is not actually people you follow. It's from the For You page. When you go live, it gets pushed to the For You page, which means people who don't necessarily follow you will find you. Every time we go live, we probably get at least 100 followers because those are new people who sees what we're doing. When it comes to like documenting the process, I like to often show the full process of laying a certain type of floor down for the epoxy pros. Like, so we'll do a metallic or a flake or something interesting. We'll go live, but at the same time, so I'll be going live with one person's phone. Then I'll also be taking clips with another phone to create a video. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, and it's like a multitasking, like it's hard to do this, especially if you're by yourself or you're with guys who don't know what they're doing. Even if it takes you kind of hiring someone, even if it's your own family member saying, hey, can you please come with me to this job? Like, I need you to help me just take this video for me. It's worth it. But what's cool about going live on TikTok, like I mentioned, is you get a new follower base, the people that never knew you existed, to follow you and follow your story. When you're posting like before and after videos, it's only like so many before and after videos you can post until it gets kind of like, okay, it gets kind of boring. So you have to kind of find that healthy balance between letting your personality shine through in the content and being educational. A lot of, in my industry, which is social media marketing, a lot of people call it edutaining, because it's like educational and entertaining content. You have to kind of find a healthy balance between what that means for you. But people don't realize that if you don't start posting, you're never going to find that balance. You have to try. And there's a lot of resources out there that can help you. Like I mentioned, CapCut, looking at other accounts for inspiration. Kind of have to think outside of the box. And if you're not that person that knows how to think outside of the box, then you either need to research it or hire someone or invest in the knowledge that it takes to do this. Because social media has been honestly like very life-changing for the epoxy pros. A lot of their clients and jobs come from social media. We've gotten huge jobs from social media, Instagram. And the first thing people say is, oh, I saw you on TikTok. I saw you on Instagram. I saw you here. So we just got started on YouTube, and people have even called and said, I just saw you on YouTube. We don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet.
That's awesome.
So it's like, people don't understand that social media is, in my opinion, one of the strongest tools you can use to get those people who don't know who you are to come in and be interested in what you're doing.
You guys started from ground zero. It's not like you guys started with the amount of followers that you guys have right now. Yeah, that's awesome.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so like you said, a little while ago, we were talking about this. I will show your Instagram account and your TikTok account to our clients who are asking us where to start and how to record and what to post and what not to post. And I'm always like, well, let's look at the epoxy pros. Let's do what they're doing. So I would like for you to give me some tips on how to create a branded kind of vibe in social media, like your top branding tips, top 3.
So for branding within your content, I always recommend kind of having your logo in the video. It just, I feel like subconsciously reminds people, well, first of all, a lot of people steal our content. So we've actually had to start putting our logo. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. We've had to start putting our logo on everything because people like to take our content. And it's funny because they'll post a video and the video will go viral for them. So now I'm like, oh my gosh. So just have your logo on the video because you never know what's going to hit, what's going to go viral. If you're talking in a video or you have text, I would definitely use your brand colors as the text colors. If your colors are blue, I wouldn't use like red for your text colors. It just helps subconsciously build the brand awareness for people who are watching it because people start to associate you with a color, your brand with a color. Have your logo, have the branding colors, and then the third branding tip I would give is show your personality so that people can kind of feel who you are in a brand. There are so many people who do concrete coatings, epoxy coatings. So how do you differentiate yourself? You can differentiate yourself by talking about giving them a piece of your personality. We have a slogan and it's like, call the pros, the epoxy pros. And I think that's like a play off of James Bond. But it works. People feed off of that. And you create more of a memorable brand when you kind of give someone something to remember, something to say, like, oh, call the pros, the epoxy pros. It's kind of funny. Commercials usually have like a jingle, so those are a few ways you can kind of differentiate your brand.
Can you talk a little bit about when you got started with Daniel and you started having him document and start to share tips and strategy? Was he like always camera friendly and always looking good as he does, or what was that like?
Yeah, so that was fun. When we started recording him, I think it's a little nerve-wracking for anyone to have a camera in your face, even me. He was recording me earlier today because we're vlogging this podcast, and I got nervous. I got tongue-tied. It's not always going to be perfect. We posted videos that we look back on, and it's cringy. But we also weren't afraid to be cringy. And it's cringy until it works. It's cringy until people start copying what you do. It's cringy until you get a $100,000 job.
That's right.
And people are like, how did you get that job? Well, it started with posting one cringy video that maybe he wasn't totally comfortable, but we kept going. And the more you post or create the content or even practice, the more comfortable you will become.
What tip would you have to a contractor? They're like, well, I know I have to do this, but what tip would you give them in order to start showing their faces and their voices?
This is a good question. So the number one tip I have, if you are trying to get started posting content and you don't know you're shy, start talking to the camera on your stories and telling people what you're doing. Or if you're at a job, make the time. Even if you have 10 followers, it doesn't matter because 10 followers could be 10 clients. Would you like to have 10 jobs? Probably. So if you have 10 jobs lined up, now you're looking at it differently. So I recommend talking to the camera like you're talking to your best friend or someone that you're really close to and comfortable with, because that again shows your personality and helps associate your brand with a certain tone. So talk to them and say, hey guys, this is Connie. I'm here at a flake job, and today we're going to put down the vapor barrier base coat. If you don't know what the base coat is, it's blah, blah, blah. Like, get into it.
Yeah.
And don't be shy to educate. Yeah. Don't be shy to crack a joke. If you're funny, if you're a jokester, crack a joke. If you're not, don't be something that you're not.
That's good.
But just talking on your stories will really help you get comfortable with creating content. You have about 6 seconds from the time someone clicks on your profile for them to decide whether or not they want to follow you. So one of my biggest things is optimize your profile. We do this by, first of all, having his main photo as his logo. That's the first thing. People associate you with your logo, ties back into your brand, ties back into the colors. We have his colors right there, very clear. The second thing is just your name on Instagram. We're talking about Instagram specifically, is search engine optimized. So you need to put keywords in your name line on Instagram where people could search and find you.
Interesting. You put the city in there?
We did. I think now we left it as South Florida because there's other things we want to push.
Okay.
You know?
Of
but
course.
yeah, if, like, let's say you are in Atlanta, Georgia, epoxy flooring company, I would put epoxy flooring in Atlanta, Georgia. You want to have those words in there. You want to think about what people are searching on Instagram. They're not, if your name is 123 Epoxy, that's your business name and you just started an account, no one knows who you are. So no one's searching 123 Epoxy.
So Christian, can you zoom in for us so that the viewers can see the name, and you're mentioning right underneath the numbers, right? You have the followers, and right underneath that's what you're talking about.
Yes, so that's the name line right there where it says.
So that's the name line.
That's the name line.
Interesting. Okay.
That is what's search engine optimized. That is where you want to put words where people are actually searching, not your business name. Because if you don't have a lot of followers, people don't know who you are, no one's going to be searching for you because no one knows you.
Okay.
But they might be searching for epoxy flooring in Canada.
Right.
So you want to have that in that name line.
That's good.
So then after that, you want your bio to basically talk about who you serve and how you serve them. So we like to just say we do high quality epoxy installations in South Florida. We tell people we can transform your garage in one day. We are metallic epoxy experts. And at the bottom, we do have a free ebook, and we push people there, and also they can schedule a quote there. So our bio is fully optimized in every way possible. Our highlights are also basically kind of just highlights are, I mean, we don't really update them that often, but we just have them there. I personally don't look at anyone's highlights ever if I go on someone's page.
Right.
But just in case someone does, we have some testimonials, we have some flake videos, metallic videos. We got some brand partnership with Jobber. So they basically pay us every single month, and they pay us commission on anyone who signs up with our link. And that's because of our following. So that's another reason why you should be posting on social media. They reached out to us.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's the benefit of creating amazing content. So if you scroll down, Christian, let's just take a look at the feed here. There's different type of videos. It's not the same picture. It's not the same angle. It's not the same type of project. Talk to us about your working theory here. How are you going about putting this together?
Every time I post a piece of content, I'm very intentional on what it is, what is the message behind the video. Usually it's some kind of inspirational thing or a transformation or something along those lines. The last few videos I think have been to push our YouTube channel. Okay. But usually every piece of content is specific to one of those things I just mentioned. We like to keep our viewers engaged. I like to switch it up. Like sometimes it's an inspirational video with the audio that's inspirational that anyone can relate to. Sometimes it is an educational tip that I know his followers who are in the concrete coating industry would either find that valuable, share it with other people that they know, learn something. That's the thing. Like when you're posting content, you need to be intentional and not just post, oh, this is a finished floor that we did over here and wherever. People get sick of that. So, I mean, honestly, like, how are you going to make epoxy flooring interesting? You have to switch it up. You have to tell a story. That's how you keep people engaged, is by giving them different things that they can either find educational or entertaining or something along those lines.
Now, what we're seeing here Is this all shot from an iPhone, the majority of it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Nice.
everything that has been shot on his social media pages has been from my iPhone 12. I actually just recently got the 15 2 days ago or something.
Come on, Daniel. You better get the Pro Max.
Yeah, he did.
Come on, Epoxy Pros.
He gave me the
If
one
not,
with the...
I got to sponsor you in the new.
Yeah, so now, but still, when you upload content on Instagram and TikTok anyway, it uploads at a certain 1080, what is it, HP or something?
Yeah.
Whatever. So even if you take it in super 4K, it's gonna downsize your content or, lower the quality anyway. So if you have an iPhone 12 or an 11, those are still great cameras. Don't feel discouraged that I can't post this. Some of the most viral, and don't get me wrong, now at this point, because of where we're at in the business, we do have a team. I have to have a team of video editors to keep up with the demand of content that needs to be posted on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So don't look at our page and compare it to yourself and think, oh, how are they doing this, blah, blah. We have a team now. But in the beginning, when it was just me, I was editing in the app. I was editing in TikTok. I was editing in Instagram and doing the best that I could to just make it, what it was, which was entertaining. If you're starting out and you feel you're comparing yourself to the Epoxy Pros, don't. Because unless you have, the money to invest in a team, it's not like it takes a lot of effort to push out this content twice a day. It's not just like super easy to do. It takes a lot of scripting, a lot of time, a lot of ideation on my side to come. I video chat with our video editors on Zoom like 3 times a week. So it's not like this super easy thing.
Right. No, are you creating one piece of content and then just posting it everywhere?
It depends on the piece of content that's created. There is a culture on TikTok, and unless you just know, on TikTok, it's very raw videos, unedited style. People don't want to see overly edited videos on TikTok. So I don't post overly edited videos on TikTok. I post more just raw stuff, something that doesn't feel very edited. TikTok is definitely a platform that is great for growth, but in my opinion, I don't think it's the best for selling. I think Instagram is the best for selling.
Yes.
On Instagram, you definitely want to be more polished. Our content is edited nicely on Instagram. Anything that you see edited on Instagram, I'll probably push to YouTube Shorts because it just depends. So if we get one piece of content that's edited, like a short form video, I'll probably post it on Instagram and YouTube Shorts. I don't really post the same content on TikTok because of the culture. Okay. Are you posting on TikTok like the captions are popping up and stuff already like edited for you?
It's already, captions are burned and we just have the frame and then there's the logo on the top and the video in the middle.
So I have my video editors edit 2 styles of videos. One is edited nicely with the logo and everything. That's for Instagram and YouTube.
Okay.
I have them edit the same video without any of the text, no logos. So it's the raw, and it can still be edited. I just don't have any of the nice graphics popping up or text popping up. And I'll post it on TikTok and just add the captions through the TikTok app.
Wow.
So the thing with TikTok is when you use the captions, those words are also SEO, aka search engine optimized. If you're talking about, let's say, marketing for your concrete marketing crew, someone could search concrete marketing and they would find you because, let's say, throughout the video you were talking about it. But TikTok's only going to recognize it if you have those TikTok captions. So if you're using overly edited captions in your videos you're posting on TikTok, it's not going to work. Get your nicely edited videos, post that on YouTube Shorts and Instagram. You can take the same video, but take out all the edits just so it is you, talking about whatever it is, and add the captions on TikTok.
That's good.
And you should see a difference.
Beautiful. We're definitely going to try that for our next upload.
Yeah.
Let's pull up the YouTube so that we just can get a feel. And was this your first time uploading a YouTube video?
Okay, no, it wasn't. It was so I tried to edit a YouTube video and I edited a video and it just wasn't good. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm like the queen of all types of concrete marketing or social media marketing. I'm good at organic growth and building community, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a great video editor. Okay. Long form content especially is different than short form content.
Yes.
So we did have to hire a few video editors for the recent video that we posted on YouTube. That was professionally edited and it came out great. I mean, we're super happy with the way it turned out. We are pumping out a lot more content like that. We're more intentional now with vlogging. We have microphones, we have cameras.
Yes.
Because we decided to invest in it, but you don't always need to invest in that. It's just we decided to because we could. I have a vision. Like the way I see things is like I have a vision and I talk to the video editors about the vision. Daniel is very good at executing my ideas and he's just a natural. The Epoxy Pros have been killing it and we're excited to get on YouTube and we hope to see a good amount of growth on there.
See the name, you have the Epoxy Pros and then you have the bracket. Epoxy flooring. Do you do that on purpose?
Search engine optimized as well.
Search engine optimization.
So epoxy flooring is one of the most searched words in the epoxy industry.
Beautiful. Go to the videos, click on the video tab there, right there. And is that the video?
Yeah.
And you guys got a call from that video already? Or
Not yet. We just uploaded that like 2 hours ago. Actually, our YouTube Shorts this was our first video that we actually tried to make it a YouTube style video. But like I mentioned earlier, we repost and repurpose our videos from Instagram and we post them on YouTube Shorts. So we have about like 970 subscribers only posting YouTube Shorts.
Nice.
Wow.
So even if you're like someone who's like, oh, I don't know how to post long form videos, but you have the short form videos, just create a channel and start posting the content you've already posted before on YouTube Shorts, but don't have any logos. I always see companies posting, well, you can have your business logo, but don't have like, if you save a video directly from Instagram, it'll have the Instagram logo. You don't want to post something with the Instagram logo on YouTube. You don't want to post something with a TikTok logo on Instagram or YouTube and vice versa all around. It's just these algorithms are so smart. They can see it. And if they see, they see it as they're trying to push another platform. They're not going to push another platform on their own platform.
Yeah.
So save it without the logo. There's a few, I'll give you a website. If you post a TikTok video and you download it, it will have the logo. But if you copy that link to the video into a website, it's called snaptic.com. You can download the video with no TikTok logo.
We've talked a little bit about Instagram being the best channel for conversions, for selling floors. Then you have YouTube as well coming in, and then TikTok with its own community. That was a good insight, a good revelation for me. Talk to us about the approach here. What's the goal with your TikTok channel?
We do have ebooks, and we are going to be selling all different types of digital products soon. We didn't really have an angle or a reason of going viral or growing the platform, and which is why I got into learning about digital products. On our Stan store, I have a link to our free ebook. We're collecting emails, so that way when his online digital products that are for sale are ready, we already have over 600 subscribers to our email list. So that's the goal, is growing our email list to sell. So we do in-person courses. He's going to be selling some other courses. And we have direct emails to people who are interested in the epoxy industry that we can tell them, hey, we just have this new product. Boom.
Oh, I love what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
And you're also working on your own course. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. I get a lot of questions about, can you help me with my social media? Can you create content for me? Unfortunately, just because of the amount of work I have with the Epoxy Pros, I cannot take any more clients, but I can teach you how I do what I do. So I am creating a course. I'm super excited about this. It is all about how to optimize your social media profile, and it goes more in depth, more than I talked about even on this podcast. It goes into how to set up your social media for success, how to optimize your profile, what you should post about, content you should be creating, video editing tutorials and tips. I have so many tips and tricks that I have not even mentioned on this podcast that's going to be in my course. It's going to be less than $100. It's very in-depth.
Nice.
What's your Instagram? Is that the best place where they can connect with you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok.
Awesome.
You'll probably see me popping up more on the Epoxy Pros because I've been involved this entire time. I just never thought to talk about it. People seem to be intrigued. So that's another thing. When you post a piece of content and you see it performs well, maybe you should post more of that type of content if you want to grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we posted a video and it was like, I was in it, and a lot of people were like, oh, couple goals and things like that. So something clicked.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
You just talked about like, you know, couple goals and stuff like that. So let's talk about something a little bit like different.
Yes.
So you work with your partner, I work with my partner. Talk to me about that. What is it like working with your partner?
Definitely depends on the day. However, you know, most of the time, I think there's a lot of respect between the two of us. I really respect what he does. He respects what I do. And when it comes to someone asking about social media or any kind of marketing, he just kind of refers them to me. So we work together in terms of like how certain things are going to look. When we're creating content together, I want him to feel super comfortable because he has such an incredible personality that I like to let it shine through.
Nice.
Which is what we plan on doing on YouTube because we didn't really show so much of his personality on Instagram and TikTok. So we plan to do that a lot on YouTube. But I think there's just like a lot of respect there. He really listens to me before he shuts anything down. And same with me. I try to listen to him, you know, I'll let him, whenever you guys have him on the podcast, I'll let him talk about what it's like to work with me. But I just, you know, we've known each other since we were 15. We met in high school.
Nice.
And I just, you know, respect and love him a lot. So we like to work together. I think we weren't sure how it would be to work together, but now that we've been doing it, I think we work together really well.
Isn't it fun?
It is fun. And I also just want to say, like, I think that's also important. Like, we stay in our own lanes.
Yes.
Right? So for me, I know I'm the biggest pain in the ass when someone tries to step on my toes or tell me how something should be ran when it comes to the social media.
Yeah.
I will bite your head off because I just can't. I just feel like I know what needs to be done. So if someone kind of goes in there, then that's when I'm like, like, this is my field.
Oh, Maddie does that to me all the time.
But overall, I think when you respect like you have your lanes, you know, like I'm the social media marketing person and he is basically everything else. When you respect what the other does, I think it really helps to make it more of like a team thing. Like you guys said, it's like always fun to work together. Like I feel the same way. Him and I are always laughing. We're always having a good time and it makes work fun. Even the stressful time, it's nice to have someone to lean on because work and entrepreneurship is not easy. There's a lot of late night shifts. I have to be understanding or vice versa. So I think that's really cool that you guys work well together as well.
Oh, that's amazing.